It's gonna rain. I don't want to accidentally film kids. Just for a second. No, I'm not. It seems, even though it'd be a good thumbnail, and it is public property, so it's not illegal. I still think it's kind of, I don't know. I wanted to take an establishing shot of all the kids. But you can see how there's like, that could be seen as unusual, even if all of their backs are turned and there's no faces or anything. So we're gonna find whoever came to my tent in the woods today and treated me like I was a possum eating trash. And now I'm triggered. And I'm just finding it really hard to continue what I was doing, which was camping on the outskirts and then cleaning it up and making it better than I found it. So I spent all morning from like 6 to 7. What time is it now? 9? From like 6 to 7:30, I went through all these trails and I picked up all the trash for them because I was really grateful. And I haven't slept in a couple days because I was trying to go get my social security card for work. I've been kind of panicking trying to get my stuff right, and I didn't know today was the first day of school. So it's just I couldn't sit in the tent and try to sleep and just keep thinking over and over and over again about what are they going to do to me? Who are they going to send out there? And as soon as, like, it was really peaceful all morning, and then as soon as that guy basically attacked me, all the crows showed up and started screaming. So I'm assuming the crows are signifying that a lot of ill intent towards me has come. It's pouring now. I'm looking for the maintenance. Let me ask. Morning. Are you maintenance?
Yeah.
Hey, have we met before?
No.
I'm Casey.
What do you do?
I was a traveling backpacker and had a lot of traumatic stuff happen because people like to take their crap out on the homeless. But I wasn't like an addict or anything. So he's a competent engineer. I forgot his name.
Bob.
Bob said this summer he didn't mind if I was here.
There's
So,
kids here now.
yeah, I didn't know it was the first day. So
Yeah.
this morning from like 6 to 7:30, in all the trails I went around with a trash bag and I picked up a bunch of trash. So I got trash back there I'm gonna throw out at the end of the day. I have all the campsites that people have left behind picked up. I just trying to go into town today, find someone with a truck to get my stuff and get out. It's not a lot. It's just someone gave me a pull-up and dip bar. You know, like the pull-up and dip station.
Oh.
So those are really expensive. He gave me a really good deal, so I took it. I was thinking if you guys want it, I just don't know about people coming in and stealing it. I'd be
Oh,
totally fine with in the woods so that kids can come use it.
I can't make that. You'd have to talk to them. Yeah.
I just
Yeah, because they're gonna. Yeah, because there'll be kids around here, and then they're gonna call the fucking law on you or something. You know, and we won't know until it's too late or something.
yeah,
You want me to get Bob? You can talk to him.
sure. I just didn't. Some
Well,
guy,
I can't
yeah.
make that. That's
All right, somebody came to the tent today and kind of chewed me out.
yeah.
He was like,
So
so I didn't want.
yeah, let me get him.
All right.
If you don't mind, you can get out of the drink.
Bob's gonna cuss me out. I look presentable enough.
Oh, last night didn't get resolved last night.
Howdy.
How are you?
I'm good.
Are you weathering the summer okay? You look pretty healthy.
And
Huh?
it was nice to be somewhere safe, I could rest.
Yeah.
Basically,
What do we got going out there?
not much. I spent the past couple days. I got a couple trash bags and I cleaned everything. Like there should be anything like
Who's all camping out there? Just you, or I'm told multiple people are out there now.
if there are multiple people, I don't see them, but I do see a lot of trash show up.
Okay.
I leave during the day and I have been trying to work at Cumbies. I'm waiting for a social security card and then I can get in. But they don't mind me being there, so I would go there just to practice.
Yeah, I
beat
see you
around.
there quite a bit. Okay.
I was gonna-
I actually thought you were working there.
I'm about to. They just can't get it legally there. So I help out, but I don't get paid for it. I'm just practicing. 'Cause it's been a couple years since I worked, so I was trying to make sure I still could do it. Basically, so I've got this big trash because I've been cleaning up all the trash every day. I come through at night, make sure everything's good. I got a new tent. The old tent's gone. I have everything just around that picnic table by the river. So
Well, remember, we got school going, so now we can't camp back there. Because
Yeah.
we got outdoor classrooms, so you're going to have to vacate.
that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
it'll probably be if you mind after school today, so there's not.
After school today is fine.
Okay.
Because now the administration and now everybody and their brothers is aware of it. Okay. And we're told now that multiple folks are out there. And I said, well, I know of only one guy that was out there.
Yeah.
I really didn't even know you were still out there.
I
I see you walking up and down 66 still. You still got your site up there?
I haven't checked it in a while,
Okay.
so maybe that's where I'm hoping I'm gonna go back. I
What's your
think
long-term plan, man?
trying to get my social security card. I think I told you the plan was to find a place in Vermont where I'd buy an acre and then bring my brother up here, but my brother died,
Oh.
so I don't know what to do now.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. He was my only family. Now I'm thinking about maybe first I gotta get a social security card. Then people are talking to me about a passport. Maybe I could go to Ireland, do like intentional communities and farming. So travel and work on farms for free for a little while. Set up a network, and then it'd be cool to come back and you guys have a huge homeless problem. I just go around on a motorcycle and talk to them about how cool it is to farm and live on the farm for free. Might get people off the street. either way, I'm just kind of taking it day by day. I wanted to make music videos, movies, and stuff. I met a lot of people that work in Hollywood. They said it really sucks, but I have a network now. I can maybe go out there because I have a degree in audio engineering.
What's your living plan?
Living plan was to go back to the Route 66 campsite, clean everything up, make it better for whoever the property owners are. I've met people before and they don't seem to mind me there. It was just too hot back then and no water.
No,
So
yeah,
I like to hear.
I get it. Where are you getting your drinking water from? Cumberland? Cumberland Farms?
I'd just get the gallon from the Dollar General, and then I'd get a bunch of flavors. So I'd carry that. And Cumberland gives me free drinks.
Okay.
From the
Well,
fountain.
the only reason, because I don't want to find a dead body back there, because then it'd be a ball buster, and I don't want that to happen to you. So, that water back there, don't drink that
Okay.
river water. I mean, I know you have.
No, I haven't.
Oh, I thought you said you did.
No, I did it. I did up by the farm.
Yeah, you dodged the bullet on that, because that's just asking for
Yeah.
problems.
When the snow melts, there's a stream up by Randolph Center. I
No,
used to
I'm
drink from.
very familiar with the hydroelectric
That
cycle.
would get me sick.
Okay, anyway, all right, we gotta vacate. If you see
Yeah.
anybody else up there, because I know that law enforcement's gonna come out there and just start issuing trespass orders.
There's nobody out there but me.
Yeah, I just said, if you
Yeah.
see somebody else, because I'm just being told there are multiple people.
What they're seeing,
I'm just telling you what I'm
Yeah.
told. I don't care what it is, because we just gotta get everybody vacated out of there. And I
Yeah.
don't wanna see anybody get arrested, because you know me, you know him. We want everybody safe and,
I think they're talking about there's a woman who's a nurse and she walks her dogs there by the river every day.
okay, well,
So she comes through and goes.
I don't know
to the
what they're
river.
saying, I'm just saying, I was
Okay.
told there's multiple campsites out there. And then you just happen to be here, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna talk to them, so I'm gonna get the straight shit from you.
Yeah.
So all you know is that you're back there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I figured it was high schoolers.
It might be.
I think that they come and
the
hang out.
trash is not acceptable. Do I think that you're the one throwing all that trash out? No, I don't. No, I don't. But thank you for cleaning it up.
Yeah, the trash should be all gone.
Okay.
I'll
yeah.
double check.
Yeah. Thank you.
I did. It took me like an hour today. And then if I'm on, I was up for 2 days to catch the bus to Lebanon, trying to get that Social Security card.
Yeah. Where are you going to get that? In Montpelier? At the
I
Social Security office?
I tried to do it at the Haven in West Lev. I tried to see if they could help.
No, I don't know that place. I just know that there's a Social Security office. That's in Montpelier, though, right?
Yeah, that's a $12 ticket to get up there
Oh, okay.
on the train. So I'm trying, but it takes time.
I hear you. Okay.
Do you need any help with anything while I'm here?
We don't.
Okay, the only thing
And
that,
we would have to hire anybody, to pay for anybody, we would have to have a Social Security card and get you on the.
Yeah.
Remember, we already talked about that.
Yeah, I got
So,
you. The only thing that's a problem is that someone gave me a really good deal, you know, a pull-up and dip bar,
yeah.
like a real gym one that's like $250. Someone gave me for $20.
Yeah.
So I have it out there. I want to move it. I was gonna talk to Ray at Rumor Has It if I could carry it. It's easy to carry. It's heavy, but it's not gonna like ruin the ground or anything. I can carry it. But also if the school wanted it and they didn't
No, we
want it,
can't, no.
okay, because I figured insurance purposes or something.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we can't. We don't take any. We cannot take any contributions like that. We have to buy stuff because then we carry. The OEM carries the insurance and the liability, but we carry it also for the personnel that use it. Well, all right. So you got the plan. You know where we're at. We've helped you. We've done whatever we can. I wish we could do more, but we can't. And obviously I've got
Yeah,
a
so-
wing hurt, and so I'm going to be back on the road here probably in a couple months. But so I'll see you then. And whatever I do as a cop, I'll help you too. But by that time, hopefully you got your Social Security number and you're working somewhere. So,
Okay.
all right.
Yeah, and for other people you meet, Lebanon has a program at one of the libraries. If you go to Haven, which is like the home shelter there,
Yeah.
they can tell you there's a library program that lets you rent an e-bike for free. You can just take it out for a couple hours.
Yeah.
People can DoorDash on the e-bike.
Yeah.
They can make like $60 in a few hours. It's like stopped people from panhandling. They're just working
no,
on it.
yeah, I'm aware of that. I just, but right now I just
Yeah.
worry and care about you. I want to see
All
you
right, I appreciate it.
figure it out.
I just didn't like the way the guy talked to me, so I was worried that if I didn't come talk to you,
I'm glad you
there
did.
would be a mob.
Yeah, be proactive, because it would have been a mob. Because
Yeah.
he and I were going to walk out there.
We were gonna come out.
We were going to let it stop raining first, though.
Yeah.
So, all right, see you later.
All right.
Yeah, take care. Good luck.
Thank you. Cool. That's the cop that says he profiles black people because it works. Now maintenance knows me and they know I'm cool and they know that I've cleaned up a lot of stuff. I'm gonna show you guys. I miss being 17, man. I really wish, like today, I heard all the kids playing, and I really wish that I was a junior again, so that I could run around and have fun, like everybody was laughing and having fun. And I was like, if I walked out of the, if I emerged from the bushes and was like, can I play with you guys? Make up that I was a threat. I forgot to mention to that guy I got in a bike accident. And I think he also got in a bike accident. I didn't want to stay here. Like, if they had just left me alone, I would be out. But it wasn't the maintenance guys, which are pretty chill. It was like a teacher that like has trouble existing. Sort of like, I don't know, it's like Randall from Monsters Inc. if he had anxiety. Like severe anxiety. So Randall from Monsters Inc. crawled up to my tent and was like, you need to move your tent. And I was like, hello? And he was like, you can't be camping on the front. I was like, I know, but I'm here, so. Because I intuitively felt like he was trying to make an example out of me more than he wanted to talk to me. Like, his tone sort of suggested that he was a very skinny, weak man, but he knew that he could bully the guy that was sleeping on the ground. Just from how many times that's happened to me. So I just said, 2 o'clock, buddy. And then, like the crows are cawing now. For the first time in 2 days, the crows swarmed my tent and started screaming at me. And I felt a lot of anxiety come from the school. Yeah. So we have this, which isn't trash. But let's carry it. This looks like to be some trash. So I'm gonna have to take another trash bag. I'm glad that guy was nice to me, because if he wasn't, if I got a hint of disrespect from those guys, I was gonna dump all this trash back where I found it. I'm gonna show you. Fuck you, Crow. Get ready. I cleaned all of this for them. That heaping mountain of trash was all around this. It looks like somebody stomped out my cot just because they felt like it. My cot was very neat and organized. It looks like someone undid my cot and then put a fucking boot to kick my shit. They went through my shit. Hello, Crow. But yeah, the original guy made me so angry, but at least the maintenance guy seemed a bit more chill, or else I would have waited till nighttime and I would have dumped this across the soccer field. And then I would have waited a year. And then I would do it again. Take a farm truck full of manure and just spread it all over that guy's lawn. Where's my... Okay. At the very least, I know a place further down the river. And let's look at my beaver friend. It looks like my beaver friend has chewed through and made his own pathway here. He's been eating all of this and using it for his dam. So he crawls up here now, because I haven't been delivering him sticks for a couple of days, and this dam's got to be built. So he's been using vines, which is really cool. I'm glad I got to see this in action. He's almost done with it. I was going to come here every day and bring a bunch of fallen trees from around, and that would make that trail network look a lot cooler. If I took and I can still do it at say if I show up at 4 o'clock every day, I can still hang out with this beaver. I found out my dad was only a ski instructor for 8 years. But 8 years is still a long time, man. And he's born in the 8th month. Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner. Sometimes I feel like my only friend is the city I live in, the city that loves me. Lonely as I am, together we fly. And I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. Under the bridge downtown is where I do some crud. I would say a quarter of this is mine. And the other quarter is the soccer field. And then 2/4 is the other trail where the high schoolers were partying this summer. I think that guy knew too if he was gonna treat me, if he was gonna, he knew that if anything happened, I would have thrown all that trash. And he was like, nope, be nice to him. Or else we're gonna have 2 more hours of work. Because I would spread that shit like a cancer. Trash everywhere. You're not gonna make me into the homeless loser. I'm a victim. No problem. Oh, so this is not the original trash bag. I've already thrown out one. That was just as full. And that makes things simpler. God, they have some real dummies here. They saw this and they saw where I'm at, which is nice and put together, and they saw this mess and they said, there's multiple people out here. Any normal person who spends any time outdoors would see, okay, this is what he's cleaning, and then he has a clean space that he's taking care of. So he's in the process of making things look much nicer. A towel. Parry the towel. Fuck you. Look, it's like, I don't have a picture of how it looked before, but when I first got here, this was full of tar, ashy fire pits and garbage. There were tires here. People carried tires out here to make fire pits. There were like bones of rotisserie chickens people threw. There was glass bottles broken everywhere. I couldn't sit and meditate because I'd put my hand on the ground and there'd be like a bunch of metal. I cleaned this whole space up. So 3 o'clock. School gets out at like 3, so like 4 to 6, I'll get the trash out. I'll move all of this into like a little nook further up the river. Unless I get a big bird right to left, then I'll go right to Ray's. And I'll start asking around if people can carry my pull-up and dip bar with a truck. What I was trying to talk to them about, because I would hate to be a teacher, but I really like teaching. So I think I need to make my own Hogwarts like Brian Dumbledore. That you have to get to through the KC station, King's Cross. In Montpelier, 12 miles north. No, actually it's 30 miles north. My bad. It's a $12 train ticket. 30 miles north in Montpelier, they have this huge trail network through the mountains because Montpelier. Oh, fuck you. I know I'm thinking about Montpelier where all the crows are bad, but a bunch of them just showed up. Yesterday, while I was downtown in a big city, bigger than this, so like a very small city, every time I sat down, so I'd be sitting right here, I'd look up and then straight in front of me on the power line, there'd be a giant crow. I was like, fuck this shit, fuck you. And then I move over here, and then I start talking to people again, and then I look up and the crow moved right in front of me there. And he wouldn't leave me alone for hours. There was different crows that would go right in front of my head, and they would block my third eye as I'm talking to people about God and making people cry, because that's what Casey does, guys. Casey travels, and his story makes people cry, and it validates their confusion about whether they're in a simulation or not, because the stories that he tells is exactly the things in the pattern that people are ignoring, like synchronicities and the style of God's creation. They ignore it because they're like, that would make me crazy and that takes me away from normal life. But then I come with these obvious stories that everyone seems to have a similar story about the birds and shooting stars. And how they ask for confirmation and get that. Then I made a lot of people cry, a lot of really nice people. And then I talked to someone who his wife passed away 2 weeks ago. And I was like, if I had recorded yesterday, it would have been probably the best content on my channel. Because like Vietnam veterans came up to me and were talking to me about what it was like. Then homeless people came up to me and talked to me about how police broke their leg and deleted the body cam footage like they tried to do to me. And then people came up to me and talked about, and they put it so much better than I could put it, about how the homeless people they were talking to are so depressed just because they don't like the way the world is. Not necessarily that there's anything wrong with their mental health. It's that they can't function in this society. And that drove them to drink. And he told me about how he read the journal of his wife that she would write every morning before she died. And they think she overdosed. And one of the last entries was, I can't believe I woke up this morning. Because she would just wake up and do her dream journal and write her dreams down and her aspirations in life. And the final thing she wrote was, I can't believe I woke up this morning. And he said that they got in a fight and he walked away. And then he saw her downtown. They got back together for a couple days. He went outside, he said that they hadn't slept in a couple days. So he came home and saw that she was very peaceful. And he didn't want to bother her. So he hung out on the porch and smoked some weed. Came back in and he wasn't going to wake her up, but he dropped something that would usually bother her. Like she would wake up immediately and she didn't. So he found out she was dead. And he said I was the first person he told, and that he hadn't spoken to a single person in 2 weeks. He was making YouTube videos. he was sitting out by the river and recording videos of ducks. Redneck fishing and more. A solar panel. You're not here anymore. I have Cash App, and I have a post office that I get deliveries to, general delivery. If you're still here. So I now have a couple locations across Vermont that take mail for me, like Upper Valley Haven if you address it to Casey O'Brien. Upper Valley Casey F. O'Brien. Upper Valley Haven in White River Junction, and then Capstone in Randolph are probably the two best places, other than the post office in Randolph, Vermont, 05060. I usually have my Discord open, but I've been deleting and undeleting it. So if you, okay, cool. My phone said 0 people were here. Yeah, I would say if you have Discord, that's how I usually get in touch with people. Maybe I could find you on Facebook. Are you talking about like a big solar panel that I could put on a truck camper or put above my cabin? Which would be really helpful next year. And probably, I think we still have a couple months of summer left. It's only cold because we have a hurricane. So I could still get some use out of it. So it just depends on how big it is. But I think the post office can take big packages too. But that's the best way. Would be Capstone, like Capstone, Community Action in Randolph, which is 12 Prince Street, like son of a king Prince, 12 Prince Street, 05060. And they will call me if they get mail or email me. Somebody did offer me a truck camper. It's a more, the bigger industrial trucks that have the big bed, the big metal bed in the back, not like a long bed, but like they look like the industrial trucks. I'm sure the truck probably flops too. He offered me one of those with 67,000 miles, and it's got a truck camper on the back, and he was going to throw in a dirt bike, all for $10,000. I tried to work at FedEx, and FedEx said I need it in this area, I need a CDL, even though you don't in Burlington. UPS said that they only hire locals who have lived in the area for 3 months at least. They don't hire travelers passing through. So I'd have to have an apartment. I'd have to work another job, get an apartment, show up with 3 months, proof that I've been there for 3 months, and then I can change careers, they said, to UPS. So those were my big money makers, my big tickets out of here. And I went down there to figure it out, and they don't have it. So the next thing I'm thinking about is going down, trying to DoorDash on an e-bike. If I can go to a bigger city, especially in like a college town, on an e-bike, I bet I could bang out a lot of deliveries. It'd probably be better if I go there. So Walmart is selling an e-bike that's usually worth $900. It's pretty nice. It can go like 40 miles, and it can go like 40 miles an hour. That is $500. If I got that, someone offered me a job at a scrapyard paying really good money, and I could live there while I'm working. He has an empty apartment upstairs. He won't charge you money to live in if you work every day. and he still pays you good. He's a good guy. He seems like a genuinely good guy. It's just I don't have a way to get there. So I was thinking if I could get some easy, quick 500. So I mean, the universe is saying, why don't I have to? You know, it's been 5 years. Why don't I just go fly a sign? I didn't do it out of dignity. I didn't want to, when I finally get on Joe Rogan, I didn't want to have to say I panhandled. I wanted to say that I got even depressed and crying on the ground, struggling, sick, broken. I made something of it. But now it's like I met a homeless guy yesterday who said he makes $30 an hour panhandling. And I'm like, couldn't I set an example? If I have like a big sign that says I don't do drugs, I need $500 to get the e-bike, to get this specific e-bike from Walmart, and then I can go to the scrapyard and never have to do this pathetic shit again. And then on a second sign it says, if it helps, I have severe CPTSD. And a lot of it has come from fighting to protect other people. Ask me about my life instead of assuming. But I think they'd still give a lot more money to the I need beer guy because he's less dramatic. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So let's say goodbye to this place. This winter I said I wanted to find a field and I wanted to find a river. And this is what the universe provided. There's eagles here, there's herons. I could make my songs here, nobody bothered me. I got to see a beaver build a dam, which is pretty cool. Hopefully the next place there are less crows. I'm still writing songs. I noticed that when I go to work or when I'm around other people, I'm less able to get in tune with myself to make the best art. So I kind of see why I see why the universe has made it so hard for me to get work, because the art that I make is timeless and seems so much better than just wasting it for money to buy crutches to help me through life, when this is very fulfilling. But I'm 25 now. If I don't fix it soon, I'm gonna waste my 20s. I don't want to be a 30-year-old creep trying to have 23-year-old experiences, going to hang out with a bunch of people by the beach and life is hard, man. Life is pretty hard. So this is, when I get to the cabin, I think I'm going to use this and put it in a corner, and then I'm going to find insulation and insulate that corner, and then I'm going to get my tent, and someone may be offering to, his parents are very wealthy. I met this guy in town whose parents are really wealthy. He said he might take their big 8-person tent, so then I can take this tarp, put it in over my tent, then put that tent in the big tent, and then put the insulation there. And then I would just need a wood stove, and even just a small one with like a PVC pipe, and just have the PVC pipe run through the tent and then out the exhaust on the outside, just so the heat that generates from that, plus all this insulation, I just get out for a few minutes, go walk around to collect firewood while the fire's burning, so that it's insulated. That way I don't kill myself with carbon monoxide trying to figure out how to do it right. And then should warm my tent long enough for me to pass out. Asking is better than stealing. Yeah, that's true. I only ever stole from places where the people treated me like shit. I'd go to the store and I'd ask them for food. And if they would say, "Get the fuck out of here, you crackhead junkie piece of shit," then on my way out. And I only really stole food that they were gonna throw out that night anyway. Like the Price Chopper ravioli. It's gonna fucking rain. It's a bit wet in it. This is where the deed happened the other day. Okay, the socks are dirty laundry. I need these socks. They're hard. They're a precious commodity. So this trash could go in the trash bag. Along with this. That solar panel is pretty cool. When I first got here, I shit out here. I've been having trouble figuring out where exactly the line blurs between being so traumatized I can barely function. Like if a crow caws, I suddenly am walking in circles fighting off the Matrix. How much of that is actually dysfunctioning that I'm brave for powering through? And where does the line blur to maybe I'm just being lazy? Because it is both. I'm not saying I'm not lazy. It took me like a month to do my laundry. This is how I cleared the trails. Look. This is going to be my big planning board. Let the rain. Okay. So we're going to come back once school is over, little basket, Carol Baskin, I'm going batshit. All right, bam, bam. Fuck that incel that came at me this morning with an attitude. Like he doesn't know I've had to kill people in the cold to live. Okay. The powers that be just informed me that they will be very pleased and that people admire how free my life be. See? ASEY. Don't ask me why. Take a hike, pussy, go fly a kite. I can knock a bitch out like Mike Tice. I said I'll knock a bitch out like Mike Vick. I got about 20 people watching my shit. Get the fuck off my dick before I cancel y'all like Christmas. Okay. It's officially cleaned. Now the bigger problem. I just put both of my thumbs up in the air. This is what he was mad about. A kid could see the tent. And the kid is fucking 18 years old. He's a senior in high school. Having a freaking freak out that he could see my tent. And he like led all the kids away, like, get away from that guy. Let me come up and say he's not welcome here. But think about every homeless camp you've ever seen. This is like nothing. The problem is that I had the injury, so it's hard to carry this. So I don't know how I'm going to get this out, is the problem. And I hate these crows. They're going to ruin my day. I was supposed to sleep all night, but, and this is true, and I'm going to clip this, so I'm going to try to make it 5 minutes. Last night, while I was laying down, I got hit with this overwhelming amount of life force energy that I hadn't felt in a long time. It had been a long time. So I felt it, and it was vivid, and I could see in spirit. The same thing, the way I can see in spirit, and I start to manifest and make things better, and that makes the crows angry, and they start and pull it away from me. Like they're still trying. Right now, they flew right by me. And I saw a fungus growing, and I saw the intro to The Last of Us right in front of me. And it was a spirit telling me that the mycelial network was trying to communicate with me and grow into me. And I felt it literally. The vibes were pulling up my back and then connecting. And then every time I got, so it was like a big long, like all night process. Like 7 hours I sat there trying to fight it off. And every time it got 1 inch closer, a very fast, very large animal that seemed like probably a coyote or a fox would run around my tent and would hit the tent. So imagine my tent's a square, but the side of my tent, so I'm laying like this, the doorway's here, a fox would come in and then smack the side, and then it would run around and go up, then it would come back, and I would be like, like screaming at it, and it didn't care at all. It would just wait, and then it would jump over my campsite, not the tent, but like right in front of it. It would bound across, and I'd like pull my flashlight out, and I'm trying to see what it is. But every time that this connection to nature got closer, more enmeshed in me last night, the animals kept showing up. So I couldn't sleep because I know that buck come through here. So I didn't want to wake up and there's a buck's hoof slamming me in the face, just crushing my skull. So I stayed up all night. Hello, bird. Left to right. The bucks aren't mad at me. But that crow is. That crow's mad at me. And I can do that and make them stop. But then when I start talking again, they just go right back. The only good crow is a dead crow. Hey, with this last minute, somebody came up to me the other day and said they wanted to tell me a story. And they said, it was someone I had been talking to a couple times that comes through here sometimes. And they told me that they had a friend who was indigenous to this area. And when this woman was a child, they would go mushroom hunting for chaga and go like, that's what they did before internet. They'd go through the woods like long stretches. And the indigenous woman who's full-blooded, trained, this was like 30 years ago, who learned from their culture, hated the crows. The same way that I go, stop, 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 stop. She did the same thing. The woman said that when she would go with the indigenous person, and she was telling the story about the indigenous woman, she would say that she would go into the woods and the crows would call her and she'd go, stop, stop, stop. And she had to make sure the crows would leave before allowing the group of people to forage because of the bad energy the crows bring. So fuck you, bitch. Clipped. Let's see. Is redneck fishing and more Uncle Will? Is that Uncle William? Another huge revelation, and then I'm gonna go, is I realized today every single homeless person that I've met, including the people with dark skin, every single one of them said that they were predominantly Irish. And as I'm talking to them, I felt God come down, and I realized that the Irish people have been fighting colonialism for 1,000 years. And then I was reminded about epigenetic trauma and how everything that your ancestors go through is coded in yourself, in your cells. So, of course, the homeless population is almost entirely Irish because they're not homeless. They're doing their ancestors right by continuing to live the way that they feel the happiest. They can't stand being employed. And then I help those people with a reframe, which is, don't think about it like you have to get a job and have a boss and be under management. Before you get the job, you need to write down all the things that would make your life better and how much they cost. And then you see your time at the job as in how many hours until I get that. And then you're no longer working for whatever. You're in a battle and you're riding into battle and the battle is long. And then when you get done with the battle, then you have the resources necessary to continue your journey. It's not that you submit like a slave to colonialist employment. You're living by your rules. They're pretending to be your boss, but they're not your boss. So, We're just waiting on the world to move to a place where you're not bound by the 40-hour work week. The homeless crisis will solve itself as soon as work becomes available to people who are not bound by it. Homeless people love work. Homeless people are good workers and hard workers. Homeless people cannot lose their freedom. If you take away their freedom, they shut down and they can't work and they can't function. You leave them with this freedom of being outside. You stop putting restrictions to make them submit and break them down and degrade them into being an employed person. You allow them the freedom to be what they want to do, the actual American dream. And they're top 1% of workers. So soon we'll have Shift Smart and DoorDash and Uber Eats. The problem is capitalism. People used to be able to make 10K in a month on DoorDash. DoorDash has restricted that, and they've figured out how to make it so no matter how hard we work, we're capping out at $20 an hour, regardless of how hard we work. And they get all the money for themselves. But 2022, we was making bank. We was making $4,000 a month. Getting up at 6 a.m., working until midnight, and all of us loved it. We would all get together at the KFC in Plattsburgh, and the top dasher was making 10K. I was making about 400 a month. But I was like, I know that it's because my car is slow. Once I can get that 400 and get something better. And then the cops just bothered me so much that I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go to Burlington. And then when I got to Burlington, shit didn't go well. So I'm gonna try to get some sleep. I've cleaned everything, I've spoken to them. They know that after school, I'm going to clean. They're not gonna bother me anymore. I still feel this like PTSD because the guy attacked me today. And that made me really angry, but I was the better person. And I went right to the good people and spoke to them. Even though I really wanted, like, it's beaten me down to the point that, like, I really only survive off violent thoughts. Like, the only thing that motivates me now is the fantasy that eventually I'll have so much money that I can really ruin their life the way that they ruined mine. They kicked me while I was down, but one day I'm not going to be down. And they should be afraid. Not of murder, but of my genius. When I finally sort through this pile of toxic sludge they threw on top of me for years. Things will start to work in my favor.